Alright, there's Dr. Sochi's room and Mikhail's room. Let's go to Mikhail's room first. More pills, some paints. Here we go. March 6, 2249. This is his journal. The whole team experienced nausea during a large electrical surge in Europa's atmosphere. I am concerned. This was not an instance of mass hysteria. Vital signs were affected. It caused a uniform surge in heart rate that was detected in all members of the crew. I am reporting it to ISA. Okay, then the next day, March 7th, I reported the nauseous incident to the ISA. They offered an explanation of electrical disturbances to our central nervous system. That is ludicrous. An electrical surge large enough to affect our nervous system would have done more than make the team feel ill. I'm going to experiment with some shock therapy. Okay, that's kind of crazy. March 8th, the next day, I have discovered that electronic fields disturb our telemetry implants in a way I didn't expect. I have contacted the ISA. Strangely, Tom was not comfortable with my attempts to disturb the implant. The next day on March 9th, the ISA have reported back informing me that I am not to disturb the implants. They have also encouraged me not to discuss this further with the team. I am continuing to investigate. March 11th, a couple days later, I have been running some experiments outside of Tom's view. I can tell how he knows this. He has been acting differently around me, like an offended child. I feel increasingly nauseous. These implants seem to have neural connectivity. Out-of-body experiences are more frequent now. Okay. Something's going on. All right, now a few days later, March 16th, I have established a definite correlation. Against my knowledge, I have been implanted with a device that affects my mind. I have used my opportunities in regular health checkups to investigate the crew. We all have them. Every single one of us is implanted with some mind-altering contraption. Tom has been encouraging the team to worry about my mental health. He requested that I retire away from the crew. Misinformation. Yikes. And then like 10 days later, March 26th, I cannot will myself to investigate this further. I grow tired quickly. I cannot think straight. I am not sure if the implant is affecting my thoughts anymore. I believe it is trying to subdue my mind. I think I'm going to attempt an excision. I am going to remove this implant. April 4th. I am typing with my left hand now. The excision went wrong. I have successfully removed the implant. Unfortunately, I lost my hand in the operation. Tom is very angry. The crew refused to talk to me. Apparently, I am a bad influence. Sarah patched me up. April 5th. I wonder if the nature of the organism and its disturbance of my DNA caused my awakening from Tom's influence. If so, that would make for a worrisome revelation. Perhaps this organism is not so friendly. The next day on April 6th, Dan informed me ISA have called for my termination. A masochistic experiment proves I am a danger for the mission. Fortunately, he chose not to lock me in the brig. I am going to investigate this implant further. I have to hide my work. The team are becoming increasingly aggressive. They seem to oppose my work to understand the implant. It does not help that Tom is encouraging them to distrust me. April 7th, 2249. I have discovered the nature of the implant. It is a complex computer. It interfaces with the human mind directly. It seems to condition the mind through Pavlovian and instrumental conditioning, eliciting feelings of euphoria when the wearer is obedient and dysphoria when they are disobedient. It also has the effect of suppressing impulses in the frontal lobe, presumably to lower free will. It seems to interface crudely with motor neuron cells through the cerebellum. It is my hypothesis that the crew is controlled by this implant. That is their strong aversion to helping me. I need a method of suppressing its impact. Perhaps a drug? Riluzole. Let's go with that. Riluzole maybe an antidepressant to minimize the conditioning effects. Combined with a strong electromagnetic field, I could use one of the industrial electromagnets from the construction robots. And then the last entry is on April 8th. I have managed to get Chris on my side. He has agreed to test some medical procedures with me in private. It will be more difficult, one-handed, but I must persevere. I am hoping to keep this out of the eyes of Tom, though I have a feeling he will be listening. Okay, so that's some information there. There's apparently the organism is affecting the DNA of the humans somehow, possibly. And also, there is a mind-controlling implant in every human, and I presume in my character as well. So we'll see what that means for us. Nothing else in the room except for some paints and a lot of needles. Okay, let's check out. So that was Mikkel. Let's check out Sochi's room. He's a musician. Got a violin. Another pad here. So we got an email to Sochi from Chris. So what is it you found then, Sochi? And then he says, we found an extremophile, i.e. an organism that can live in extreme conditions, that survives massive doses of radiation. Radiation damages DNA. The extremophile has a virus living inside it. The extremophile scavenges DNA from other organisms, which the virus uses to repair the extremophile's damaged DNA. Essentially, they work together to survive in what's called a symbiotic relationship. So what's the implication? What does it do? In some ways, it is an immortal relationship. It doesn't seem to age biologically. Aging and death are ultimately caused by DNA damage. We have the ability to fix our DNA, but that ability is limited. This organism can repair damage caused by massive doses of radiation. If we could harness this power, we could potentially eliminate biological aging, what is known as senescence. I've never heard that word before. Senescence? So you found something that could make humans immortal? Not exactly. There are many causes of death other than DNA damage. It would not save you from trauma, from brain damage, from cardiac arrest, etc. But it could potentially cure cancers and many genetic diseases and massively increase life expectancy. Okay. A lot of reading in this section. The thermos and a wedding ring. Here's another pad, but this one has a picture on it. Alright, so this one is to Matthew Layton at ISA from Sochi. Hi Matthew, we've been studying organism 119. Please find attached scanning electron microscope image which appears to show pilus information. We hypothesize that this is a stress response due to high levels of radiation. We plan to infect a human cell line with organism 119 and perform irradiation experiments with flow cytometry. There's a lot of words here, I don't know. Would this be appropriate? It would be great if you could get the department to look at the SEM image. Kind regards, Sochi. I don't know why it's more blurry than the other pads either. Okay, this one has a lot of words in here that I don't even want to attempt to say. This email just is more background noise about the organism. And that it can attach to human cells. They have a picture of it here. So it says we have now run the irradiation experiments and can confirm that E. radiophilus, which is the virus organism, does indeed seem to confer resistance to radiation. See attached. We assume survival is due to DNA damage repair. Okay. Something's amiss. We don't know what is performing the repair. The lab doesn't know how E. radiophilus could repair DNA. Have you considered that another organism may be in symbiotic relationship with E. radiophilus, perhaps a virus? Okay, so maybe I should have read this one first, because I think they already figured this out, right? An unknown virus. Yep. Okay, a lot more emails back and forth. And that's it. Alright, let's get out of here. This is boring. Okay, I already went that way. Alright, let's go this way. Back to puzzles. Alright, I'm leaving the crew quarters now. And I'm in sector C21.
These people should not have been sent here. It's not safe.
Manned space travel is not safe. Since mankind first entered space, the debate has raged over the value of manned space travel. There is a large contingent of the ISA that believes all tasks that need to be performed on Europa could be performed by machines. It is obviously less risky to send machines rather than humans into space.
That was a pretty easy puzzle. Alright, C22.
We sent drones to Earth's moon. Scientists can remotely operate drones. If we did it there, why not here too?
Teleoperation became possible on the moon when the communication latency was reduced to 1.4 seconds. The distance between the Earth and Earth's moon is approximately 1.3 light seconds. This enables near real-time control of drones by scientists. The story is different with Europa, as the distance between Earth and Jupiter oscillates between approximately 32 and 53 light minutes. It takes a very long time for Earth to communicate with Europa. Due to that distance, teleoperation will never be possible on Europa.
Okay, but why not control drones from the satellite?
Why not indeed? My systems can be teleoperated from Europa's satellite. That is when the communication lines are opened. However, the advantages of human field workers apparently outweigh the risks.
So, why can't you solve these tests, Tom?
I am not permitted to think laterally. Parts of my systems are permitted to use evolutionary algorithms. This simulates what is called creativity. However, evolutionary algorithms can converge on inefficient and ethically suboptimal solutions. Since this is the case, I am only permitted to take actions in response to a set of constraints.
What do you mean by morally suboptimal?
Solutions to problems that transgress ethical boundaries.
Okay. So in this puzzle, we've got a bunch of bridges that we have to ascend to the 3rd floor. And when we get there, we're going to need, it looks like I saw 2 energy sources to open the exit door. Now we have a box that we got from the power box delivery system, and then the energy orb that we can grab from here. But that energy orb, I can't pull the energy orb from up there if it's down in this little alcove, so it needs to be here. So I guess I need to take this out. Oops, put that back in there. Alright. Now I can go upstairs, pull the orb, send it across. Okay, cross over. Okay, now we have another orb that's opening this door. Okay. I'm thinking now that what's probably going to be required is this box that I put down there will be up here, because I won't be able to pull. I won't be able to pull from this receiver, which it looks like I'm going to have to. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to do that. So let's figure this out. So actually, now that I got up here, I have this second orb. I can use that. So what I'll do is I will put it right there for now. Grab this one. And we'll come all the way down here. Yeah. Pull that road out. Now I will be able to pull this orb from across the room. So now that I've got this box will go on the inside of that door there. And I think I've solved the puzzle now. It's just a matter of doing it. Cross over. Alright. And there's the exit. Voice.
Why does a lack of creativity stop you solving these tests?
Well, I contend that problem solving is creativity. These human interaction tests are exercising your creative mind.
I don't see how problem solving is creative.
Think back to the beginning of these tests, to the first puzzle you solved. It required you to throw a box through a window. Do you remember?
Yeah, I think so.
I simply had never thought to throw a box through a window. That is creativity, thinking outside of the box.
Yeah, thinking outside the box. Alright, let's see what we gotta do here. Okay, so we can't get through the exit while this is powered because of that inverter there. So we have to break this energy beam while we're on this side of the room. So let's see what this platform does. Ah, okay, that's pretty obvious what we have to do then. Now we can lower the door, block the beam, go up the ramp. And we're through.
Can a computer ever be creative?
They can. But a computer's method of creativity is to try everything until something works. Think of nature. People consider nature creative. The process of evolution by natural selection. It perhaps started with one organism. From there, it essentially tried to create every organism it could. Those organisms that did not survive perished. So, nature's creative force is to try every conceivable idea. Those ideas that work survive.
Okay, so why aren't you permitted to emulate that process?
Because the solutions that a biological process creates are not always good solutions. As we see, nature is morally ambivalent. It will happily create morally suboptimal ideas to fulfill its creative mandate. We see this in parasitic worms, viruses, and pathogens.
So in this puzzle, there's a treadmill and a magnet holding up a box, and I presume that we need the box to come all the way over here so we can drop it down. But this magnet is powered or not powered somehow through these two beams, which I can switch with that lever over there. And if you break it when you move the box to the right, it will drop the box and the treadmill will pull it all the way back over. So the trick is pretty simple. You just move it halfway, then switch the beam over, and you've done it. Okay. Now what? Hey, did I miss something here? Oh, I wonder if there was a person up there that was watching me. I just missed it. I don't know. Maybe I can knock the box off by moving it really quickly. Nope. Oh, crap. There we go. Alright. So, I didn't have it all the way over. So now I gotta switch it back, put it in the second position, the beam. And now I can go pick up the box and move it halfway. Right about there. Now switch the beam to the other beam. This is keeping the magnet on. So the beam and the magnet are both controlled by that. That was the trick. So now I move it all the way over past the treadmill. So now when I pull out the orb, energy orb, it depowers the magnet, drops the box, and the gate is open.